Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today on creating a custom bookings form in Microsoft 365. My name is Libby, and I'm here to just give you a quick introduction and background to Alberon, just to give you guys a better understanding about who we are and what we do. Alberon was started around 17 years ago in Oxford, primarily specialising in web application development, SharePoint development, Power BI reporting and analytics, and bespoke software development. And more specifically, some of the services that we offer include software development, web design and development, managed web hosting, and software and web support and training. And we actually have a series of quite comprehensive training courses that we're planning to launch in the near future. It's in the works at the moment. And they'll be a lot more in-depth and teach you more about managing your own online environments and keeping up to date with everything Microsoft 365 related. And relating to that, more recently, we've been expanding our SharePoint services so we can help you with the development, design, and consultancy of your SharePoint sites, and like I just mentioned, training. So some of the SharePoint specific services that we offer include helping with the planning, design and development of sites, migrating and updating services, and also just providing ongoing support and training to staff members. And the reason that we want to support more organizations with SharePoint is primarily because it already comes as part of the Microsoft 365 package. So it's really accessible to those of you who already use Microsoft services. And we just find that so many businesses don't use SharePoint and Microsoft 365 to its full potential. So we just really want to help organizations and individuals to maximize the benefits of the entire Microsoft suite of applications so that you're making the most of your subscription. And in addition to that, SharePoint can be used for more efficient collaboration, document management and control, and be customized to your organization to handle any specific business processes that you might require. Now, we tend to find that people enjoy using SharePoint because of its built-in functionality and centralized administration. So it's really easy for individuals within an organization to use. And in addition to that, it's very customizable in nature, and the document management and collaboration features are a really central part to the whole design of SharePoint. And once you're familiar with it, it's actually really easy to use. As I previously mentioned, it's fully integrated with Microsoft 365 apps. So once you're used to it, it just creates a really seamless and efficient user experience. And we just find that it really empowers users to handle business processes by themselves instead of really heavily relying on external support. Here we just have a small selection of many of our happy clients, and these include all sorts of, we've got a lot of Oxford University colleges, charities as well, and lots of local organisations, big and small. So these clients have generally found that their processes have become a lot more efficient since developing their SharePoint environments. And you can actually read more detailed testimonials on our website. It should be easy for you to access and just find out a little bit more about how we've been able to help them develop their online environments. Additionally, on our website, we have a range of case studies as well, which you might find useful to read. These case studies identify the challenges that organizations were facing, and they detail how Alberon were able to help them to create positive results that benefited everybody within their workforce. So some of the solutions that we have delivered include establishing an easy-to-use intranet, reforming their permissions and access structures, and providing consultation and training to company staff to help them become a bit more confident with maintaining their sites themselves. And the results have included removing any inconsistencies within their site structure and just ultimately far more professional setups and more appropriate systems for information sharing and access, which is really important in this day and age, especially in the digital kind of side of businesses. So with almost 17 years of experience and all of the skill and the expertise of our consultants and developers, we're able to tailor solutions specifically to the needs of your business. And additionally, we can provide business insights and analytics, as well as in-house technical support. So you can feel comfortable knowing that your organization's technical needs are in safe hands, especially when it comes to Microsoft 365 and SharePoint services. If you're interested in any of the other services that we offer, or if you'd like to know more, you can drop us an email at hello@alberon.co.uk, and we'll be happy to discuss any queries with you, or you can visit our website. Now, we can now get started with the main content of the webinar. So I'll hand over to our senior Microsoft consultant, James, who's going to get into the details of how you can create your own professional custom bookings form in Microsoft 365. So James, if you're ready to start.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. So as Libby said, my name's James McDowell. I'm the senior Microsoft consultant here at Alberon, and we're going to be looking at Microsoft Bookings, which is an app included within Microsoft 365 within your subscription that allows you to make really professional booking pages for your clients stroke customers, and you can even make personal ones yourself. So we'll dive straight in. Okay, so this is the Bookings app itself. It's accessible from your app launcher in the top left screen, same as all the Microsoft cloud-based applications. And within here, you've got the option to create a new booking page, so you've got the create option and discover on the right-hand side there. I've already created a corporate one for the purposes of this demo, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. And you've also got the option to create a personal one as well, which we'll look at towards the end of this webinar, which is quite a useful feature, particularly if you're in a role like mine where you're a consultant and people need to get hold of you, sort of access your time. So I'll dive straight into our corporate one that I've made. This is an Alberon demo one, and take it to our booking page. So you've got a lot of options here on the left hand side when you actually create your page. Basically this is designed to be externally facing, so you can actually make this available within search engines such as Google. You can also publish links to it, so you could have a link posted on your website. We've actually embedded one recently on one of our websites, so customers can actually book time directly from the site itself if they've been researching us or looking for particular support. And you can make it available in various other places. It asks you for a lot of information to start with about your business. So if we go to the business information page, you can put in basic details about your business, so the title of your booking form, whatever you want that to be. You can add in your business address, which actually pulls it in from Bing Maps, so it does actually have a complete database of locations. Obviously things like email address, phone number, and if you do charge for your time, if this is going to be a paid service you want to provide, you can select the currency as well and link that through. It's got the option for your website URL, and also you can select the type of business or the type of service that you're providing. There's an option to add a link to your terms and conditions, and also to your privacy policy as well. That's a really good idea because not only does it provide some really useful information to potential or existing customers or clients, but it also makes the form look a lot more professional when you publish it. Obviously, if people are submitting sort of even small amounts of personal data to you, it's a legal obligation on the business to actually demonstrate how that personal data will be protected. got the option to upload your logo. You can also add in some custom branding as well with business colors on the screen, so it makes it look really in keeping with the rest of your corporate documents and your corporate look and feel. Business hours, really important. This actually uses people's Outlook calendars to show appointment availability. So you need to set your core business hours at the start, but once people go in to start booking, obviously if you've got anything in your Outlook calendar like meetings or whatever, it will actually take that off as time, so people will only see your actual availability. So that's really important as well. So that's like the basic business information. The next thing it will ask you to set up is the service that you're actually providing. So for the purposes of us, we're IT support and consultancy. So we basically can sign that in and say that is the service we're actually providing. There's an overview. You've got some service details here, so you can actually set the duration. So if you want them to only be able to book in certain chunks of time, say 30-minute appointments as we've got here, you can do that, or you can increase the time or reduce it as you see fit. Calendar availability just shows the availability of this service at the moment. Obviously it's quite clear because we've not really added too many people in. And then it will also show you staff, any staff that have been assigned to that service. So for example, if you created an IT support service where customers can book 30 minutes of your time for sort of consultancy or exploration, you can add all the key staff who would be available to provide that support, and it gives people the option to actually specify a particular individual if they want to when they come in to book. The staff page, this is where you add the staff in, obviously the key staff. So you may have multiple bookings, you may have it depending on what industry you work in or what services your organisation provides. You may have IT support, you may have financial support. There are a whole range of different services that organisations provide, and you can add in your key staff into each of those bookings who'd be available. So as you can see, at the moment there's only myself in here, but my contact information is in there, email address, what I actually do within the company and my job title. And like I said, you can add more people in, and these people then become available in the booking form. There's a customers section. This is blank at the moment because obviously I've only just created this as a demo, but as people do book time with you or use this service, their information that they input in the form will actually be recorded in this customer section. So you've actually got an audit trail of who has actually requested time, who's actually booked appointments, which can be quite useful, particularly if you want to do any kind of follow-up work or reach out to them again. This is why the privacy notice on the booking page is important, because you need to make them aware that if they make a booking, their information will be stored in here. But it doesn't ask for a huge amount, but it's still an obligation on us to let them know that. And then the booking page themselves. So if I click that link, it should take you out. So this is what the booking page will actually look like. So you can see a preview of it. I'm checking you can see that, Libby, and I'm not showing. Thanks, brilliant. So you can see the logos been embedded at the top, the title of the booking form, so what that you're actually allowing to do. There's a little summary there to say that it's IT support and you can grab some time with us for an appointment, and it also tells them what the duration of these appointments are. And then the staff options. So at the moment, you've got an option to select anyone. So if, for example, you had 15 staff members assigned to IT support, if they're not actually that bothered who they speak to, they just want to speak to someone, they can just select anyone and it will look at everyone's availability. But if there's someone that maybe they've dealt with before, there's someone they specifically want to look at, you've got the option to actually select them. And obviously, as we said, there's only myself in there at the moment, but if my colleagues are in there as well, we would all appear in that list. They've then got a date and time picker, so you can select whatever date you want and it will tell you the available time slots that are there. So that's quite a nice interface, really simple to use. Also, quite crucially, it's got the time. So if the time zone. So if you have offices in various different geographies, it will actually specify what time zone, what these times relate to. For us, for the purposes of this, it's just UTC +0, so it's UK and Ireland time. But you may have offices in other countries, so that might be quite important for your customers to know. And then at the bottom, once they've selected their time slot and they've selected the member of staff they want to speak to, they can input some basic information, so name, email address, phone number, any special requests. So this form was actually designed to be a virtual, so that they would make a virtual appointment, so for a Teams call or a Zoom call. But you can also use this for them to actually come into your office for face-to-face meetings. So there is an option there for any special requests, which may be around accessibility or any provisions that you may have to make as an organisation to cater for their needs. We've then got the consent option at the bottom there, which is where they're actually consenting to providing this information to us under the terms of our privacy notice, and it won't allow them to book until they actually have consented for that. And then below, it's got our contact details. So it's got our office address, our phone number, website, and then a link to our terms and conditions and privacy policies. So that's basically the booking form that you will push out. It's really simple to use, not too difficult to set up. And as I said, you can embed this form in a variety of locations, including SharePoint or your website. You can put links to it on your LinkedIn channels, for example. And as I said, you can select it so that this will appear in search options in Google or other search engines. Yeah, so go back to all booking pages. So that's the a corporate one. So if you're actually setting up a booking page for a specific service that your organization provides. Now, I did mention that there's also a personal booking page as well. As you can see, I've set one up here. So if we click go to my booking page, and this will actually open up, if you may have seen there, that it's actually opened Outlook, because it's completely synced with your Outlook email app, because it relies on your Outlook calendar for your availability. So I've created a view. You can create private views so that this information will only be shown to people that you actually directly share a link to, with this. So you've got the share option in the top right there. Or you can also make a public view, which will appear on your booking page. So as you can see, I've set up a Microsoft 365 consultancy page there. I'll open up. So it's very simple. You can just give it a title of what you're providing. You can add a description if you want. You can add a physical location, but as you can see, I've selected Microsoft Teams. So this is so people can book virtual appointments. The same with the corporate one. You've got how the duration of the time slots, whether you want it to be public or private. And quite usefully, you can actually add a link to this, your personal booking page, into your email signature within Outlook. So if you're trying to advertise your time, if you're someone like me in a consultancy role that wants to make themselves available for potential clients or existing clients, you can include that option so that when you send an email, your email signature will always contain a link to your personal booking page. So people can book direct from any emails they receive from you. There's a few other options about use your regular meeting hours. This can link to your business hours. I know within Outlook calendar, you can actually set what your working hours are as well. We showed that on the corporate booking form, but within Outlook, you can select your own personal working hours if they differ slightly from the rest of the business, and it will factor that in into the booking page. There are some advanced options as well, whether you need some buffer time prior or after your meeting to sort of review what's been going on. So basically that's to stop people booking you back to back, and it actually gives you some breathing space to do some stuff. Also, you've got minimum lead a maximum lead times, this is also an option available in the corporate booking page as well. So you can actually set how far in advance someone can book a meeting with you. This is set to an hour, which is actually quite short. You may want to consider extending that so that people can not sort of try and grab you almost instantly, but maybe have to book. The earliest they could book for you is maybe the next day. But that really depends on you and your workload. Just trying to get this thing out of the way. So as I said, adding it in, there's an option, as we showed you on the personal booking form, where you can add it in, but there's also an option to do this within Outlook itself. So within Outlook, if you come up to the little settings option on the top right in your menu bar and select that, you'll get all your Outlook options come up, and it's split into various different categories. Within the email option, as you can see, you've got a number of options there in the menu, but if you select compose and reply, the first thing that comes up is your email signature, and this is where you can create signatures yourself and sort of add in your corporate logo and all the other stuff. As you can see, I've got my Alberon one there. But underneath it, you've got the option, include a link to my bookings page in my signature. And once you activate that and save it, it will add that in. So if we go back to and compose a new email, you'll see now underneath my signature, it's now got book time to meet with me. So any potential client or anyone receiving an email from me can actually click that, and it will take them straight through to my personal booking page, and then they can book some time. So that's a really useful option. Like I said, if you're in that kind of role where you are customer facing and you need to be available, really useful feature. And that, in a nutshell, is Microsoft Bookings. Like I said, we've just recently published one on our one of our new SharePoint landing page websites. So clients are now able to book time with me directly via that website. So if you are on any of our sites and you see any services that you're interested in and you want to follow up, you can actually, rather than just emailing or sending us or contacting us via phone, we're now providing the option that you'll be able to book time directly with myself and some of our other consultants, and actually have either a virtual or a face-to-face conversation. At the moment, I believe, Libby will correct me if I'm wrong, that we've only done that for the Microsoft consultancy. So at the moment, you may only see me, but I know very soon we will be providing other booking pages to other services we provide, and adding more and more consultants and developers on there that you can book time with. And that's that. So I suppose we can go to questions, Libby.
Great, thank you, James. Yeah, that's really helpful. So I think we can bring the webinar to a close now. Like I mentioned previously, if you have any more questions, you can either contact us by email or even use James's booking form to book in some time with him, which will be really useful, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. A recording to this webinar will be made available on YouTube in the coming weeks. So keep an eye out for that, and feel free to share it with anybody that you think might find it useful, or, rewatch for your own benefit. So yeah, keep an eye on our social media pages for the link to the recording. Great, so I think we can finish things there. Thank you very much, James, and I hope everybody has a good day.
Thank you, Libby.
Bye.